Hello, Miss Tyne here with your math lesson for today. Last week we started to talk about the Ant's Toy Store. Now you made some observations about the toy store and you started to think about some mathematical questions we could ask about Army Ant and the toys in the store. Today we are going to solve some toy store shopping problems. We will work on solving one problem together. Then you will solve two problems on your own. Now let's start looking at our first problem. Before we read the problem, take a few seconds to look at this price list. Now let's think of some problems that we could pose or ask using the information from this price list. Can you think of a question we could pose? Now, one question we could ask is how much it is to buy a doll and a flying saucer. That is a problem we could solve pretty quickly with an open number line. If we start at 8, our bigger number, our bigger number, and we make 3 jumps on our number line and land on 11. And then we know that it would cost $11 in all. Now when I write my answer, I need to make sure I'm using the correct symbol to show $11, not just 11. So I make sure I add my dollar sign, decimal point, and 2 zeros at the end to show my answer in dollars. Answering that question was pretty fast. So let's think of another question we could pose. Now we could ask, what is the difference between how much the doll costs and how much the flying saucer costs? That is another problem that we could solve using an open number line. Now we can start on our smaller amount of $3 and count our jumps as we get up to 8. We would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps. We write our answer. Remember to write your dollar sign, your decimal point, and 2 zeros at the end to show $5. Now, so far we have 2 good questions, but we were able to solve them both pretty quickly. Could you think of a more challenging question? What if we added a new piece of information? Now, we could say that someone came into the store with a $20 bill and bought one of each toy. How much change did he get back? Now, this is a 2-part problem. First, we need to know how much it would cost to buy one doll and one flying saucer. Now, we already know that it will cost $11 because that was the first question that we asked. Now we need to know how much money this person would get back if he paid with a $20 bill. So we need to know $20 minus $11. Now I can use the same strategy that I used before, my open number line, to solve this problem. I can start at my smaller amount of $11 and count my jumps up to 20. I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 jumps. So I know that the difference or the change that person will get back is $9. And I write my dollar sign, my decimal point, and my 2 zeros at the end to show my answer in dollars. Now that we've thought of some questions that we could pose kind of to warm up our brains, let's have a look at the question that goes with this problem. If Army Ant buys 2 dolls and 5 flying saucers, how much does she owe? So there are a few things that I need to know. First, there are multiple steps to this problem. So first I need to know how much 2 dolls cost and how much 5 flying saucers cost. And then we need to find out how much Army Ant owes altogether. So I have to do 2 things first. Now you might know right away that when you double 8, you get 16. You might just know that because we know our doubles pretty well. Then you need to add 3 5 times to find out how much 5 flying saucers will cost. Now we know 3 plus 3 is a double to make 6. And we see another double to make 6. And 6 plus 6 is a double to make 12. And then we can add 3 more onto 12 to get 15. Now we need to add together our $16 and our $15. Now remember to include your dollar sign, decimal point, and 2 zeros at the end to show dollars, not just 15 and 16. Now we can use our base 10 pieces to help us, but because we don't have the pieces at home, make sure that you are using drawings of base 10 pieces. So we can draw a line for a tens piece and little dots for our ones. So I have my $16 with my 1, 10, and my 6 ones, and then I'm going to add 15 more dollars with another 10 and 5 ones. And then when I add my tens pieces together, I get 31 total. Now make sure that when you write your answer, you are writing your dollar sign, decimal point, and 2 zeros at the end. So now we've solved one problem together. You're going to choose 2 problems to solve on your own. Now this is what your template in Seesaw will look like today. And it says, choose 1 problem from each page to solve. Circle the problem you choose and show all of your work. You can use equations or pictures to help you solve the problem. You will solve 2 problems total. Now choose 1 problem from the first page, number 2 or number 3, and show all of your work right here. Your next page looks like this with number 4 and number 5. Choose one, show all of your work right here. Now, you know how to use your strategies. You can use an open number line. You can draw your base 10 pieces. You can draw your money pieces, or you can use equations. You have the tools. Get to work, and I'm excited to see what you come up with.